This is about the health belief model, which was developed by psychologists Hobsbawm, Rosenstock and Kegels. So this health belief model was first developed by the social psychologists to explain why so few people were participating in programs to prevent and detect diseases. The model was developed in response to the failure of a free tuberculosis health screening program. And this model is one of the first theories of health behavior. It is a psychological model that attempts to explain and predict the health behavior. And this prediction is done by focusing on the person's attitude and beliefs. And coming to the theory, this health belief model proposes that a person's health-related behavior depends on the person's perception of four critical areas. They are the severity of a potential illness, a person's susceptibility to that illness, benefits of taking a preventive action, and barriers to taking that preventive action. So once I have a perception that I am susceptible to a particular disease, and I know about the severity of the disease, and I know how to prevent the particular disease, or what are the benefits of taking a preventive action towards the particular disease. This all will influence the health related behavior of a person. The assumptions of the model is, it is based on the understanding that a person will take a health related action if the person feels that a negative health condition can be avoided, or a person has a positive expectation that by taking a recommended action he or she can avoid a negative health condition, or the person believes that he can successfully take a recommended health action. So when these perceptions are there, the person will take a health related action. For example, if you are taking, I feel that a negative health condition can be avoided. Like example, in case of everybody know that smoking causes cancer. So smoking is a negative stimuli that I already know that it causes cancer. So if I avoid smoking, that occurrence of cancer can be avoided. So the negative health condition can be avoided. That type of perception when a person will be having, the health related action or the health behavior will be changed. Next is the conceptual model of health belief model. The conceptual model says about the factors which indirectly influence the health motivation and health related actions of a person. So here the demographic variables of a person like class, gender, age, etc. and the psychological characters like personality and group peer group pressure will influence that will influence the health motivation, but they indirectly influence some of the factors like perceived susceptibility to the illness and perceived severity of the illness, perceived benefits of the illness, and perceived barriers to the perceived benefits of health actions and perceived barriers towards the health actions. So these factors also influenced indirectly by the demographic and psychological characteristics of a person. And also these four factors again, that they also influence the health related actions in a particular person. So we will move on to the sixth concept of health belief model: the perceived susceptibility, perceived severity, perceived benefits, perceived cost, motivation, enabling or modifying factors. We will see in detail each one. The first one is perceived susceptibility. It refers to a person's perception that a health problem is personally relevant or that a diagnosis of illness is accurate. So when I feel that a particular disease, it may influence, or it may, for example, a genetic disorder. When I perceive that health problem is relevant to my health, that is that perception of susceptibility. I am susceptible towards, or I am susceptible to the particular disease, or it may influence me personally. That perception is the perceived susceptibility. Then perceived severity. It is an individual's perception of the seriousness of a health condition if left untreated. So here I perceive that if I am a diabetic patient, if I am not following the treatment modalities seriously, I may get a severe complications, and that may leads to some other severe illness for me. So that perception of severity of the disease, if I am not considering my present illness, or I don't have a fear. The outcome of this perceived severity is fear. I don't have a fear towards the particular, or I am not much serious about the particular illness. That perception is the perceived severity. The next is perceived benefits. It refers to the person's belief that a given treatment will cure the illness or help to prevent illness. So example is immunization. So I have a perception that if I get immunized, it may benefit me, or it may protect me from the particular disease. I have a perception like that. Of course, I will go for the particular immunization. Then perceived barriers. The perceived barriers are perceived impediments to taking action to improve a health condition. It can be social factors, or it can be economical factors, or it can be lack of resources. Anything can be a barrier that prevent me from taking a action that particular action will improve my health condition. So that is the perceived barrier. Next is perceived cost. It refers to the complexity, duration and accessibility to the treatment. So sometimes if the cost is very high, the person is economically not that much of stable. Sometimes that cost, the treatment cost may pull him back to take a treatment. Then cues to action. Some events in the body or in the environment, they may trigger the health belief model. So these events or factors will start a person on the way of changing behavior. For example is COVID-19. So previously we were not used to wear the mask when we are out or when we are going out of the home, out of our house. But now it is a triggering factor. If you are going out from your house, you will be wearing a mask. But for what we are wearing a mask? We are wearing to prevent us from getting the illness. So that particular event, that is a environmental event which triggers the change in a behavior of a person. Next is modifying factor. It includes the personality variables, patient satisfaction, socio-demographic factors. Then next is self-efficacy, that is the personal belief in one's own ability to do something. Next is about the limitations of the model. This model does not account for a person's attitude, beliefs or other individual determinants that dictate a person's acceptance of a health behavior. It does not take into account behavior that are habitual and thus may inform the decision-making process to accept a recommended action. It does not account for environmental or economic factors that may prohibit or promote the recommended action. It assumes that everyone has access to equal amount of information on the illness or disease. It does not take into account behavior that are performed for non-health related reasons such as social acceptability. It assumes that cues to actions are widely prevalent in encouraging people to act and that health actions are the main goal in the decision-making process. So this is about the health belief model.